Hello, and thank you for consuming the It's in Queens podcast covering events in the borough from April 5th to April 11th in the year 2019.
That's it.
Christopher, how are you?
Feeling good, Robert.
You're feeling good?
Yeah, man.
I'm feeling good.
It's a beautiful day in Queens.
It's a beautiful day in Queens. We had a little summer tease.
Yep.
Or a spring tease, I should say. It's
Right.
going to come back, though.
Yeah, at the end of the week, we'll be back
Today
in
is actually,
business.
as we film this, it's April Fool's, and I didn't get one April Fool's joke in the world.
I did
All
not.
day.
I did not. I saw someone try to punk somebody else in my office, but
Really?
it didn't really even go that
I
well.
heard James Comey apparently announced this is in Queens, but James Comey announced that he was running for president.
Oh, that's
for
definitely
Twitter.
that's
I think
definitely
that
a
I'm pretty
joke.
sure that was
Yeah,
an
that's
April
definitely a
Fool's
joke.
Anyway, there are no jokes in this.
Nuh-uh.
And it is a jam-packed week. Like, it is a pages and pages packed week. So please, we're not going to go through everything. Please go to itsinqueens.com and get all the
Get
skinny.
in there.
But
Move
I
around. See what's going on.
yeah, so get out of your house a little
Come
bit.
on. What are you doing? The winter's over.
As they say in Spanish, the roof is falling on top of you. Get out.
That's right. Didn't translate well.
So it doesn't.
No,
the
I'm
roof
kidding.
is falling- Well, how do you
No.
say? I'm getting cabin fever.
Yeah. No, I was kidding. You're fine.
Anyway, so I just some kind of nice notes. I wanted to start with some free stuff. Because
Yeah.
everyone likes free.
Oh, if it's free, it's for me.
There you go. But usually when something's free, you get what you pay for. In this case, I have two free things, which are awesome,
That's right.
and they're repeating.
Oh,
Which is to say that this Friday, Noguchi Museum kicks off its first Free Friday program.
look at that.
And that goes, it's warm weather months. It'll go. This is the first one, April. But I expect, you should always check just to make sure, but that the first Friday in May, June, July, etc., will be free. So admission from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. is free, and they throw in at 2 o'clock. There is an educator-led tour or really an introduction to the sculptor who is Isamu Noguchi. Fascinating individual.
Absolutely.
Sounds like he was very difficult to deal with because that's the creative personality.
Maybe a
But
little.
this guy, man, he
He
did
had some
sculpture,
talent though, right?
architecture. Oh,
Yeah.
he did everything.
Wouldn't you like to have that kind of talent?
I would like
Yeah.
that. I'd be happy with just one talent.
Yeah,
Like, if
give
I
me
could be
one.
a sculptor as
I don't
good
need
as
to be a
him.
Renaissance
I don't
man.
Need to be,
yeah.
This guy was doing everything. Yeah.
You know what? Maybe I do everything poorly. Is that something?
What would you call it? You're a dark ages man.
That's right. There you
Dark
go.
ages man. Anyway, so it's first Free Fridays at Noguchi, and the other thing that just kicked off, I believe it kicked off last Friday, but it's now good, is Free Fridays at the Museum of the Moving Image.
Oh.
And that is actually something that goes every week.
That's right.
Yeah, so Free Fridays, you can check out the Jim Henson exhibition for free.
That's right.
And so that's kind of cool. Two really high quality free things. While we're on the subject of film, though,
I like how you did that.
one
Rolled
of
right
my
into it.
one of my favorite film festivals starts this week, and it's at. You remember the what used to be the Queens Central Y?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
That's in Forest Hills. It was also known
Hills.
as the Forest Hills Y.
That's right.
It's now rebranded.
Oh.
It has merged with the Samuel Field Y, which is out
Little Neck.
almost out in Little Neck, almost in Nassau County, and they've rebranded as Common Point.
Okay.
And they also took a few other nonprofits into their mostly senior care and after school stuff for kids.
Right.
So the new agency Common Point, which is located at the old Central Queens Y in Forest Hills.
Right.
They do an annual Real Abilities Film Festival, which
And
is
real being REEL.
there
right?
you go. And it is dedicated to movies about dealing with people with disabilities.
Nice.
And I've always loved it. And every year they get a bunch of movies that are
It's moving.
international.
It's moving.
It's very
powerful.
moving. And it's 2 days. It's April 7th and April
Nice.
8th. And it includes, a long one, a feature film, Intelligent Lives, which is about someone with disabilities navigating both the educational system and the work world. But then then they're also going to show a string of shorts. One set of shorts deals with illiteracy, autism, and cerebral palsy, and then the other set of shorts deals with Parkinson's disease, people with Parkinson's disease. And that always kind of gets me,
Yeah.
the Real Abilities Film Festival, and I really hope more people can check it out.
I was just listening to another podcast with Michael J. Fox on it, who has
He
Parkinson's.
has Parkinson's disease.
And he was so incredibly powerful, but he said that his life is actually more enriched now because of that because he every day is sort of a gift and he's kind of attacked it that way.
That's a great way to look at it.
Sure.
And also remember that he used to film his TV shows in Long Island City.
I would never forget that. I couldn't forget
that. Other things which I kind of thought were fun and worth mentioning. It's the Apple Blossoms Children Carnival.
Nice.
At Queen's Farm.
Love it.
The thing about this carnival is that it's got all the stuff that people love, like the hay rides and the kiddie games, and remember Con Edison has its booth where you can take home worm contests.
Yes, that's
stuff
right.
Like that. But it's also held on 2 consecutive weekends, so it's both April 6th and 7th this weekend, and April 13th and 14th.
That's great.
So if you can't go this weekend, go next weekend.
But get there.
Make sure you get there. You know, I hate to say it. I mean, I'm a foodie, so I always go there. But they get food trucks.
Yeah.
And the food trucks are really good.
Oh, who doesn't love
I don't
food
know if
truck?
it'll be there this time, but last time they had one of that grilled cheese guy. There's a grilled cheese food truck who makes all kinds of grilled cheese.
Grizilla.
Grizilla, I think you're right. Yeah.
Godzilla cheese or whatever it's
something
called.
like
Yeah.
Is that, hi, you know
Come on.
about the grilled cheese?
I've had a couple meals in my life, buddy.
Also, which I thought was interesting and worth mentioning on the podcast is, have you ever heard of Skip LaPlante? Or some people might say LaPlante.
He sounds like a hockey player.
He sounds like a French Canadian hockey player. Yeah.
I know there was a Jacques LaPlante who played for the Canadiens.
Oh, really?
Yeah, true.
Oh, okay.
That's very true.
Was he from Queens?
He was not.
He was from Quebec.
He was from Quebec.
Uh,
He sounded like Celine Dion.
Skip LaPlante is a composer, and he makes instruments out of recycled material or discarded material.
Very cool, yeah.
Yeah, he makes wind chimes. He specializes in wind chimes. And so wind chimes. So he is going to have an exhibition at Flushing Town Hall of all his wind chimes made out of, the quote he put in was, wind chimes made from stuff nobody else wanted.
Oh.
It's going to be there for a week, but the opening reception is April 5th. And then you can go and you can check out all the different wind chimes. I'm wondering if some of them are for sale, because I might just be tempted to buy one.
Why not? You have a nice porch, right?
Yeah, and you know, we get wind in Queens.
We do, yes.
We got a lot
Today
of
especially.
Today, for one, yeah. I think once we talked about Salsa Brunch, the annual brunch dancing. It's coming up this April 7th. At the restaurant is called Juquilla. It's in the Manhattan View, Long Island City Holiday Inn.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The basement has a Mexican restaurant, and you get brunch and they dance. And this is, these people, this salsa brunch is for dancers, people who love to dance. It starts at 11:30.
I don't think
salsa,
I'm very,
really good
so I'm
salsa
not
is
good at it.
fantastic. The salsa brunch, it starts at 11:30, ends at 4:30. But don't worry, they have an after brunch party special until 7, so you can stay there. And if after dancing from 11:30 to 4:30 you still want more, you can get another 2.5 hours.
I like it. Can't get enough of that salsa.
Yep. We have other things, like there are all these literary events coming on. There are all these art exhibits opening
very well
up.
read borough.
Yeah, and then there are all these film festivals. Not only is there the Real Abilities
we just finished the Queens World Film Festival.
We just finished the Queens World Film Festival last Sunday, or just yesterday for us.
As we're taping.
We've got the Real Abilities, the film festival on people with disabilities.
Yep.
The Havana Film Fest, which is annual and all throughout New York.
Right.
Queens is participating this year.
Great.
Showing 3 films at the Museum of the Moving Image, including, I don't know have you ever heard of Eliedes Ochoa? Do you remember when the Buena Vista Social Club music was
I have that
hot?
album, yeah.
Okay, so Eliedes Ochoa is he's kind of a folklore musician who's gone around Cuba playing all the kind of folklore, and they have a documentary on him.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, totally cool. I don't know if you
that
remember.
That album is amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
I put that on any time and just get into it.
I don't know if you saw the documentary on the Buena Vista Social
I did.
Club,
I
but
did.
That
yes.
was fantastic.
That was
too.
also good.
So this is going to be more. They're also showing a movie about, which is based on a true story about medical students who were accused of a crime and imprisoned but they didn't do the crime. And
Isn't that the worst nightmare?
that is the worst nightmare. I don't know how you make it.
I try to make myself not look like anybody, so I don't get accused of
so
anything.
that's a good point. Yeah. And then they also have well, that's a drama too because it's not a documentary, but they also have one on a woman who escapes the conflict in Colombia and ends up on an island off Brazil.
Okay.
And it's a Cuban film, but I'd almost go to that just to see what the island and the Brazilian coast
bet it's
looks
beautiful.
like.
Yeah.
Especially, well, it's going to be warm this weekend, but if it were like January, I'd go just to look at the Brazilian island.
Get jealous?
Yes. There's also a retrospective on Penny Lane, who she did Our Nixon. If you know, she's done 4 features, but she's done a lot of shorts. She did this one on Nixon. She has a new one out called Hail Satan, which is about right-wing stuff, but that's coming up at
and Penny Lane is a movie.
And Penny Lane is her real name. She's a film director.
So she was named after the Beatles song?
Well, that she's not, but she has. But trust me, she's been asked that before in her life.
Sure.
I read the thing about it, and she's been. So anyway, she's going to be there. She's going to be at all the issues.
At the Museum of the Moving Image.
Of shorts. They're doing a movie called Nuts and one called The Pain of Others. And keeping at the Museum of the Moving Image.
How can we leave?
Japanese anime.
Oh yeah, that's big.
Yeah, there's a guy across the street from me who's just fascinated by Japanese anime. He's not Japanese, but
I think it's cross cultural now at this point, right?
Yeah. There's a movie called Lou Over the Wall, which is supposed to be the big new anime thing, and it's actually music. It's about a mermaid who joins her rock band in a middle school.
They're all kind of like
a small fishing
kooky,
village,
like that's right. They're all had a little
the
nice twist to them.
Exactly. The whole idea is to join the rock band to make it big and get out of the small fishing village. But apparently the fishing village has a long history with mermaids and their ghosts and stuff like that.
Okay.
They're showing it twice, April 6th and April 7th. So if you like anime and you want to listen to music,
yeah, it's right up your alley.
Kind of fun. Yeah. You said earlier before when I first saw you, you said you were looking forward to running 5 kilometers.
I said I ran a couple of around the time or a couple times around the bases, and both my thighs feel like they've hit the wall.
All right, but you're working your way up to 5
I'm working my way up to
kilometers?
5K. I'm probably at 0.5K.
0.5K. Okay. Well,
I say by 2030, I should be there.
by then you'll be 5K in wheelchair.
That's right. Yeah.
Guardians of Flushing Bay, which is a nonprofit that seeks to
They test the water. Right?
They test the water of Flushing Bay.
Uh-huh.
Apparently, from what I understand, Flushing Bay, because it's just been so much paved that now when it rains, the water goes all into Flushing Bay in a way that it never used to. Runoff from the street, it doesn't go into the water, and that's created some kind of pollution problems in Flushing Bay.
Humongous pollution problems there. Yeah.
Have you ever been driven by Flushing Bay when it's low tide?
Yeah, and then people think I have stomach issues. Yeah.
That is something.
That's a scent.
Low tide. Yeah,
that's a scent over there.
Anyway, the Guardians of Flushing Bay are organizing a fun run.
Fundraiser too?
It's a fundraiser, yeah.
Okay.
You come and you run in the thing. The reason why I wanted to include it was because it starts at a pier 1 and goes to pier 2. So you're actually running around the World's Fair Marina.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is kind of cool.
I wish that amphitheater was still there. Remember that?
Yeah. And the World's Fair Marina, I mean, it was built for the World's Fair, but it's got, it's the busiest city-run marina.
Yes.
And it's so it's kind of fun to run around there.
Absolutely.
If you like running, if you must run, please do it there. I picked out one painting show.
All right.
And that is at the Volker Orth Museum in Flushing. Sure. A woman named Irene Busco who specializes what she does is, Richmond Hill has its Victorian house. That one little, it has an area, landmarked district where all the houses are Victorian. She likes to set up her easel and paint the Victorian houses of Richmond Hill.
That's pretty cool.
And this
And
is going to be
how fitting she's putting it up in a historic house.
And now she's right.
Yeah.
And now she's going to have an exhibition of her paintings of Richmond Hill, exhibited at the Volkerorth Museum, which is a historic house in Flushing. The show will run from April 6th to June 30th, but the reception is April 7th at 2 p.m. if you want to talk to her. She will also be there on April 28th for an artist talk.
Okay, we get to meet the artist.
I enjoy the artist talks almost,
right,
and the book talks sometimes more than the actual books.
Right, and then the movies when they have the directors and stuff after the movie.
Yeah, I like that. Finding out what goes beyond the scenes
scoop,
on those things.
Right, give me a little something.
Yeah. And then the other thing, there's a woman named Cheney McKnight who does something which is kind of interesting. She's an African American woman who does what they call historical interpretation.
Okay, what does that mean?
Which is to say that she dresses up the way enslaved women in the United States dressed, okay, with their fashion sign, and she gives lectures about. Well, in this case, she'll be giving a lecture about the fashion and what slave women wore in the United States, basically in the 19th century. She's done this before. She did a big thing on head garments and what they wore. So she will be at the King Manor Museum on April 7th, and she also does historic cooking, like the way that they cooked, the fires and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So she'll be doing a historic interpretation dressed in the clothes that enslaved women wore in the United States. And she's done it before. She does it a fair amount at the Queen's Manor Museum. And sometimes people get dressed up as as they did back then. And I actually have a pretty funny picture of her, and she's talking to a bunch of women who were dressed up like Puritans.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so the whole thing is good. So we've covered about half of it. You're not going to listen to us if we go any further.
No. Our average listen time is about 7.2.
Yeah. We understand the modern world, and we know that
we have statistics. We know what you're doing.
You've already left us to go to Instagram, to go check out Kim Kardashian's Instagram
That's
page.
right.
But remember, there's more stuff here, and dates, details, everything else at itsinqueens.com.
That's right.
Chris, am I missing anything?
We're a little more than 30 days out of the Taste of Queens, right? On May 7th at New York Hall of Science.
Chris is keeps me on my toes about Queen's Taste. Get your tickets to Queen's Taste. The website for that is The Queen's Taste, or The Queen's Taste, if you will.
Yes, right.
So remember, I am Rob Mackay from the Queens Tourism Council.
And I'm Chris Donovan from Queens.
And Chris Donovan from Queens. He doesn't need a tourism council.
Yeah, who do I need?
Check us out at itsinqueens.com. Follow us at #itsinqueens. Thank you very much for consuming this podcast, and I hope to see you in the borough this weekend, and actually every weekend, and weekdays too.
Yeah, just move here and live here and stay here.
Spend all your money here, will you?
That's right,
Great
please.
jobs here. All right. Thank you.